disasters. As we rock in these classroom desks, teach us lessons all leading up to the test. Whose results pave the way despite choice. We all think, but for once we need a voice. Waking day to day, feeling it's all the same, until you realize that this is your game. Will you conform or set the world on fire? Take what's inside and mold your own way. Will you settle or find your true desire? You've only got this one shot now. Open your eyes 'cause the TV's on, yeah. Mesmerized by the mindless programs. It all reads the same, brainwashed mind. Passing the time, keeping in line. As we rock in these stupid little decks, we count down the hours and collect the checks. Whose currency pays the way, got no choice. At times we all think like this, but once we need a voice. Waking day to day, feeling it's all the same, until you realize that this is your game. Will you conform or set the world on fire? Take what's inside and mold your own way. Will you settle or find your true desire? You've only got this one shot now. You've got to escape, no matter your fate. You've got to try with all you've got inside. We've got to escape, no matter our fate. We've got to strive with all we got inside. Will you conform or set the world on fire? Take what's inside and mold your own way. Will you settle or find your true desire? You've only got this one shot now. So set the world on fire and mold your own way. Set the world on fire. You find your true desire. You've only got this one shot now. This one shot now.
The Moose Rocks Canada.
Welcome to the Soundcheck. My name is Moose. I am your guest host. I'm not a guest. It's my show. I'm your host this evening for the Soundcheck. So the Soundcheck, first and foremost, I want to thank everybody listening around the world. And a big thanks to the Armed Services members who are listening out there, catching us on iTunes, on Spreaker, on Stitcher, etc. Wherever you're listening from. And remember, you can always hear the show 24 hours a day at www.themetalmoose.com. So Soundcheck, this is kind of a new deal for you guys who are old Metal Moose listeners. The Metal Moose Show is now put away in a can up on the rack. 3 years. We're done with that. We're doing the sound check now. So what we're doing is we're listening to the bands that are sending in music, and we're actually going to talk about them. I'm going to give my opinion on the song, and it's going to give you an opportunity to know whether or not a band is worth your time. So hopefully you've been listening to the show and you got to hear the song, and we can see if we have differing opinions. By the way, we do have a comment line. It is 424-666-7356. If you want to call in and give a differing opinion or say what you thought about the song, we totally encourage you to do so. And we'll put you on the air, just to let you know. The line's open 24 hours a day. So level 7. Okay, John Kelly, one of the coolest guys I've ever known. And I need to let that be abundantly clear at the beginning of the show. This has nothing to do, my review has nothing to do with the people in the band. John is like my brother. So that doesn't mean he's going to get a great review. So even if I know you and we're friends or whatever, I'm going to tell people what I think about the song no matter what. But I'm going to tell you right now, in John's case, that's a big rock radio hit right there. Level 7 with World on Fire, really good. It's solid. I like the kind of rap, double vocal attack kind of a thing. There's only 2 complaints I have with the song at all. Is number 1, I don't think I don't like the melodies. When there's a double vocal melody in the chorus, I don't think it matches well. And the other thing, very simple, and it's totally just a taste thing. I think the lead guitar tone is a little tinny. It's not thick enough. I don't think it's bold enough because the rhythm guitars are so fat and thick that the lead and that solo needs more justice. It's a great solo. It tells a good tune. It's just tinny. It's thin. Beyond that, though, damn good. Their album just came out. I've had this on for a couple of weeks, and I'm just now getting to play it because I wanted to get their permission first to play it. But Level 7 has got the potential to be the next big thing, no doubt about it. So A+, damn right, I would wear your shirt, and you know this because I've already worn your shirt. By the way, those of you new to the program, that's how I tell you whether or not I like a band, is if I would wear their shirt. And I have a Level 7 shirt, and I do wear it. So killer, man. I just beef up that lead guitar tone, and just my opinion on the vocal harmonies are, they're just, it's flat. Somebody's flat, and I don't know if it's auto-tuned or how you guys did that, but it's a flat in there somewhere. And now probably most people aren't going to notice that and they're going to brush it aside, but being a musician and being in a studio and all that kind of thing, it just, the vocal harmonies flat. Beyond that though, amazing. Welcome to the Soundcheck, man. Glad you're here with us. And by the way, I'm not on film, which is fantastic because I did the Metal Moose show live on Facebook and crap like that. And I'm really not going to do that anymore until people ask me to do it or whatever. So I'm kind of comfortable in my studio today. Just, I don't give a crap what I look like. And we're just hanging out, listening to metal, hanging with you. So coming up next, we got a band called Martyr. And this is just the truth. I think there's about 47 bands named Martyr. So when you're trying to look this band up on Facebook, try to look for, the name of the song. I'm gonna post them on my page, but I might tag the wrong one as well. The song is called Into the Darkness of All Realms, so that might help you figure out which one it is. So we're gonna check it out on the sound check here and listen to it and see what we think about it. We'll be back in a few and let you know what we think. Once again, thanks to everybody listening around the world, and also on www.themetalmoose.com. And make sure, like I said, if you have a comment, you have something you want to say, just give us a call. It's 424-666-7356. You can call anytime. You can also text that number as well. So it's the Soundcheck Moose line. So let us know what you think right now on the Soundcheck. It's Martyr, Into the Darkest of All Realms. Rocket.
The Moose Rocks Canada.
I found myself.
The Moose Rocks Colorado.
All right, so Martyr to with Into the Darkest of All Realms. So I'm going to just right up front, I'm going to say this because something we're going to run into a lot on the Soundcheck shows. And this is, I think, my 6th Soundcheck show. So, I mean, it's something I've already had to deal with on multiple occasions. There's only one thing that can really save you from doing something that's been done before. And so listen, anybody with any kind of a metal background knows that is extremely old school Testament influence. That is 80s thrash. It's been done 8 million ways to Sunday. But there's one thing that can save you from that, and that's writing good tunes. So initially, I wanted to just go, oh, blah, it's Testament crap. But you listen to this, it's a good song. They do it really well. That is, I wanted to put on some high top sneakers and some skinny jeans and a leather jacket. That got me into the old thrash vibe, Clash of the Titans era deal. And also just, once again, I'm going to talk about this a lot since I am a musician. I love the bass tone in that song. It was really good. The vocal performance was really nice. And so immediately I also thought to myself, this is something I want to play to younger kids that are into, Asking Alexandria. It takes you back to the roots of metal, the thrash era, something these kids don't know anything about, or excuse me, most of them don't know anything about that. So it was like a little, throwback history lesson. I dug the hell out of it. I would totally wear that shirt. I think Martyr, I would put their shirt on and I would wear it. And I would say, if you want to go back and relive those days when you were excited to listen to a thrash record, before it became so, cliche, there were 8 billion thrash bands. But anyway, man, so super good. I don't have a complaint about that song at all. Very good. Nice production. Like I said, killer bass, and the bass tone was good too. It wasn't drowned out. You could hear the strings. I don't know if anybody else understands that. Maybe the bass player is going to be happy about that, but I liked the bass tone and how it was mixed into the music. So awesome. By the way, if you're a band and you hear me on the show saying that I would wear your shirt, that means that I would really like one of your shirts for real. And all you need to do is text me at 424-666-7356. And I'll tell you how to send a shirt over. Because if you send a shirt, I'm going to put it on. I'm going to take a picture of it. And I'm going to let everybody know that, hey, this band passed the test on the sound check. It's as simple as that, man. It's, a lot of people out there thinking, oh, it's just a scam to get shirts. But really, it's a good way to promote the band. And also a good way, because trust me, because of who I am, and that's not an ego deal. People want to know, who is that on your shirt? Who is that? And I'm not going to wear a shirt of a band that sucks. So people want to know what I'm listening to. And I'm going to say, this is one of the bands I had on my show and they're badass and you need to check them out. So like I said, just give me a text 424-666-7356 and I'll let you know the info on how to shoot a shirt out here. By the way, my name is Moose. Once again, this is the Sound Check coming to you from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, in the Moose Pit Studios. So this is where all the magic happens, right here in the studio. And we just we crank out the metal. We tell you what we think about it, and it's more of a history lesson, more of a let's talk about the music than what we did on the Metal Moose show. This is more of what I enjoy doing, and that's talking about the music and listening to it and giving a critique on it. That's how I got known in the metal world when I started writing for the Metal Observer way back in like 2000. Is by giving reviews and giving my opinions, and luckily people seem to enjoy that, and that's good because I enjoy doing it. As I enjoy eating tacos. For those of you who know about me, you know that as well. So coming up next is a band called Abhaya, Abhaya. I don't know why you would name your band that. I don't know what it means. It could mean like donut in a Persian language or something, but we're gonna rock it right here on the Sound Check. Rock it out hard, baby. right, man. So it's the sound check. So there may be some old Metal Moose radio listeners that are listening to the show right now going, maybe you're using some of the same liners, man. I mean, so I thought this was a different show. So what I've done, I've tried to remove everything that says the Metal Moose. I think the Metal Moose had such a, I don't know, reputation. It was a different show. It was supposed to be something different, and it was. And I'm so thankful for the 3 years that I did it. And the Moose is a brand. It's if you Google the Metal Moose, you'll find out. We've been lucky enough to have been, sponsors on Whackin' posters. I mean, we deal with a lot of labels, we deal with a lot of bands, a lot of promotion companies, all that stuff. So the Metal Moose is a brand. And even though the Metal Moose show was over, I'm still the Moose. No matter what radio show I'm doing, I'm the Moose. That's who I am. Do I still love tacos and Cheetos? Yes, absolutely. None of that's changed. But I really wanted to do a show that focused more on the music as opposed to me being a fat guy, fat and retarded, But I'm always going to be those things. So, some of the old liners are here, and I would love for if somebody has like an audio setup and they want to make some new bumpers for the show, that'd be great. But I'm trying not to use anything that says Metal Moose, but I'm still the Moose. So you're going to hear a moose on the show. That's just how it is. Apaya, I am a sucker for anything that has roots in like Carcass, early Napalm Death kind of thing. I love gore grind. So if you like Carcass or Impaled or Ghoul or any number of county metal examiners, whatever, if you like grind music, I totally loved that tune. I liked the little breakdown thing. The vocals are great. I love that style of music. So please send me a shirt. So listen, I will say this real quickly. The only thing that will kill grind music for me, and this is for any band, not just any band. I don't want to hear songs about rape. I don't want to hear songs about how you hate any kind of race or hate speech or homophobia or abortion. I'm not really a big fan of songs about abortion or killing children or animals. That kind of stuff doesn't work for me. Beyond that, I love grind. And so if you're a band and you're into any of that stuff, just don't waste your time. It's not going to make it on my show. And if it does, it's by accident, and I'll find out eventually. And then I will tell everybody that I hate your guts. So that's just me being honest. But Abaya, I love your stuff. I would love a shirt. So if you can afford to send one or however that works, contact me at 424-666-7356. I'd love to wear one and tell everybody how much you guys kick ass. This next band is called Aversed. By the way, I don't think I've mentioned this yet. So I put on Facebook and stuff that this is a new kind of a revolutionary way of doing things. And that's because, and I know you guys can't see me or whatever, but I listen to just parts of the song. I do what I call a micro review. You've got a little bit of time to get my attention. If you get my attention, I'm going to go further into the song and listen to it, and I'm going to do my critique doing that. I don't have, it would take me years to sit around and listen to full songs. So these are micro reviews. Please remember that, because just because this one song may not be that good, the rest of them may be awesome. So just remember that. Anyway, I've never heard a version before. We're going to listen to it. We're going to tell you what we think. And I hope you guys are finding some new bands to listen to here, because that's part of the reason for the show, man. It's a pain in the butt trying to find new bands all the time. Well, let me do it for you, and let me tell you whether they're worth a damn. That's what I do. I'm the Moose Man. I got big ass horns, and they're good for listening to metal. So coming up right now on the Soundcheck, www.themetalmoose.com. That's where you can find us. It's Aversed on the Soundcheck. Here we go.
The Moose rocks Florida.
Join me in this journey. No longer will we listen. Time to jump into the storm for away. How quickly we forget these insignificant worries. Do nothing but paralyze our hopes and dreams.
Searching myself, I start to see through childlike perception. We hide ourselves from our own reality, longing to find a sense of true self. This is who I am. No compromise shall be made. There is no more self-betrayal, unresponsive anguish. Life's too short to let this one away.
Years have turned to waste. These self-inflicted wounds. Seems real of a new life down the road.
Time to forget all the pain, suppress our fire will not burn out. Searching myself, I start to see
Through childlike perception, we hide ourselves from our own reality.
longing to find a sense of true self. This is who I am. These dreams will not be washed away. No, 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 no.
This is my life. There's no more compromise. This is my life. No one shall put me down. This is my life. There's no compromise. I had enough, so give up. They say angel takes ladder. I will fall another time. To be I'm stronger than I ever was before. This is my own sweat and blood. You can take what I am, but the moment up. I will fall another time. To be I'm stronger than I ever was before. This is my own strength and blood. You can take what I am, but the moment up.
Searching myself, I start to see through childlike perceptions. We hide ourselves from our own reality, longing to find a sense of true self. This is who I am. No compromise shall be made.
The Moose, Rocks, Oklahoma.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now that band had my interest about 4 seconds into the song. I love this style of music, very melodic. So right in the very beginning, I thought, okay, this is kind of, the In Flames arch enemy kind of deal. Before I even knew that there was a female singer, I was like, hey, this is, real melodic. Got the Gothenburg thing going. So I love that. I'm a big fan of that. Female singer, always a nice touch to me. Well, let me rephrase that. In most cases, a nice touch to me. Really good tune. One of my favorite things about it was, and this is, once again, this is the musical nerd in me, and maybe the guitar player will love to hear this, but the solo had that that Glenn Lundstrom feel to it. It almost is keyboardy, the way the notes are held, the way the sustain rolls out, really nice. The production is beautiful. That was highly slick. The one and only negative that I have about the song itself is I'm not a huge fan of the clean vocal behind the growl. I think it doesn't let the contrast breathe as much. I think it's nicer when you have them separate. You got your growl and your clean, and you do that most of the time, but on occasion in the song there's that clean behind the growl. That's really not for me. The other thing that I was going to say is that I think that this would be really popular. I'm sure that it is. I'm sure you have a lot of fans, and I think that you could probably do great things with this music. But I will say that at this point in time, it's getting a little heavy. This type of genre, the female melodic death thing, became very popular. Of course, when Angela joined Arch Enemy, and now with the Allison. But I mean, even before then with Crisis and it's been out there, but it's getting to that like almost overpopulated point. So, but I think if you keep doing what you're doing, you're going to have good success with it. I would damn well wear that shirt. Really, really good tune. I appreciate it. That's one of those records. This is something else you'll hear me say when I like a band. I have these bands' albums, and I just pick a song at random. Okay, here, I'm going to play this. So if I really like a band, I will go back and listen to more of the record to see what I think of the record as a whole. So anyway, that's a band that I'm definitely going to go back and listen to the record. I love the guitar playing. I like the sound. I like what you got going on. And totally, you got my support, that's for sure. Evulsed. Good stuff. This next band has a very, very interesting name, and I don't even really understand what the hell it means. And sometimes that is fun, because if you listen to the show, sometimes you know that I try to guess what the band is going to sound like based on their name. This one, I'm clueless. Their name is Bedroom Rehab Corporation, which makes me think of Flip This House. Makes me think of a company that comes in and like makes your bedroom nice or something. I don't know. So what kind of like if I had to guess right off the bat, I would say it's probably like either silly grind, just nonsensical madness. Then on the other hand, it could be like totally mind-blowing prog experimental rock. I don't know. I'm just going to tell you right now, I don't like your name. It doesn't work for me. 'Cause I always try to picture in my head somebody saying to me, "Hey man, what's the name of your band?" It's the Bedroom Rehab Corporation. Like I'm not interested to go see that. It just sounds. It sounds like a 4-year-old made it up. Hey, sis, what do you think we should name our band? The Bedroom Rehab Corporation? That rocks. We'll do that. That's what it sounds like to me. But you know what? One of my favorite things in the world is being proven wrong or made to look like an idiot, because the Bedroom Rehab Corporation may just kick a bunch of ass and then I'm going to look like an idiot. So let's hope that's what happens. It's The Moose, www.themetalmoose.com. This is the sound check. We're listening to bands, me and you together, sitting in a room, checking out bands. We're going to figure out if we like them or not. That's what we do. Call and leave a comment. 424-666-7356. We'll put you on the air if it's funny enough or if it means something. Either way, we'll probably put you on the air. The Bedroom Rehab Corporation. Well, so this is one of those times in the show where things get interesting to me because I've been lucky so far that most of the bands that I play on the show are usually very receptive. They'll write to me. Even if I don't like it, they'll say, hey, we appreciate your opinion. And, you know, because I always try to give some sort of helpful hint, something positive. But that was really boring. I don't like to wait for something to happen. And that's what I was doing. I was waiting. Okay, maybe something's gonna pop up and kick me. And maybe the vocal is gonna come out and be fantastic. So to me, it's a bar band to me. This is the band that you go see on a Wednesday night because you just want to get out of the house, and it's the band that's playing at whatever the local rock club is in your town. Just not for me. And so here's the deal. I don't even know. It's positive because you're a band and you're putting out music, and hopefully you have goals and you want to do stuff with your music. But it to me was just I literally can picture myself sitting there, just kind of drinking my beer, kind of tapping my thumb. Just for me, that is a definite not exciting or interesting tune. So I hate to be that way, guys. I'm certainly not trying to be a downer on your story, but it didn't work for me. So I'm sorry to all the fans of the Bedroom Rearranging Corporation. But yeah, just not for me, man. Not a shirt that I would want to wear around and tell people about it. So, hey, man, but listen, I'm nobody important. So just keep doing what you're doing and keep rocking it out. I guess is a good time to mention we're about an hour into the show. So every week when I do this, I'm going to pick one of the bands that I play on the show, and I'm going to say that they're my favorite band of the week. And so every song I listen to, I'm saying to myself, is this the band that is topped out? And maybe that's an honor to the band or maybe not, either way, but it's my way of saying, and here's the deal. Even if you guys are not familiar with me, I've been doing metal radio for a lot of years, and I have heard a lot of bands, and some of them are amazing and some of them are garbage. But I'm very, very careful to say how much I like a band, because it's kind of an unfair thing to have hanging over your head. But if I say that I like you, that means that you've got something going. And here's the deal, man. The world is just overpopulated with bands. So you got to have something to be good. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's a gimmick. It just, you have to have that something. So if I say that you're good, that probably means you have something. So the reason behind my pick of the week is that means that you're not just good. That means that there's a possibility that you have it, like the it factor, like you could actually do something with your music, as opposed to just, being a regional band putting out CDs and playing shows in 3 states. That means that you probably need to get your ass in gear and get a PR company. And if you want to do something, you can. That's what I mean by that. It's, like the first time I heard Final Drive, I was like, okay, these guys are rock stars, and look at them now. They're going to be huge. So if you're the pick of the week on the Moose Show, you got something going, man. If you pass the sound check, you got a good thing. And that's just me saying that. There could be somebody else who reviews it and says that you suck, and it's all, But that's kind of why I do this, man. So sorry to the last band. You're the first band 45 minutes into the show, just not really doing it for me. But it happens, man. It happens. There's a lot of stuff. I am a picky dude, just even about production or song structure, just a lot of things that for me, if I'm a record label or whatever, looking for bands to promote, that's not one I'm going to pick. Just saying. It's the Moose's Soundcheck. Coming up next, we got Carnivoria, which sounds like a plant-eating dinosaur. I'm probably wrong. It's the Soundcheck.
The Moose Rocks Canada.
I think one of my favorite things is when a song starts out, and I mean, immediately, you know, Carnivore is playing, and I'm like, okay, riff, chug, 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 hardcore vocal, snore. I was like, okay, this is my first thought was it was cardstock. It was standard. I thought, okay, this is standard. No, it's good, but and then they whipped out it just completely changed the guitar playing. Whoever your guitar player is, God bless you, man. You're wicked. And then in the middle of that, they threw in the small little, they went from I hate to use the word hardcore band. They went from your standard screamy type thing into a death metal bridge or excerpt that was just, it was beautiful. Didn't see it coming anywhere. The guitar work phenomenal. So it's not cardstock. It's really damn good. Listening to that, and my favorite thing overall about the tune is that it was a piece of work. It wasn't 3 minutes of a cool riff and just beat the crap out of you. They worked you. It made you think. You didn't know what the hell was coming. Wow, really impressive. Very good, man. That's odd. So would I wear that shirt? Yeah, damn right I'd wear that shirt. Really, really impressive, guys. Thanks so much for putting out music, because that's a gift. Like somebody that doesn't listen to and appreciate what the hell is going on, it doesn't understand music. That's just me. I know everybody has different tastes, and it doesn't mean that everybody that listens to it should love it, but any musician out there, anybody that's in a band that listens to that has got to be like, hey, that was like I would like to see that live. If I'd have been in a bar, like I was talking about with that one band, if I'd have been sitting at a bar drinking a beer and that band would have played that song, I would have been searching for the merch table. Where can I get this CD? Incredible, good stuff, man. I hope those guys are doing stuff with their music, because they're too talented to not be doing it. My name is Moose. This is the Soundcheck. Those of you who are old Metal Moose listeners, this show's not going to be quite as dumb. We're not going to talk about tacos and Cheetos as much. Now, don't get me wrong, I still love tacos and Cheetos and dipping Cheetos in Nutella and bacon. Don't you ever forget it. But this show's more about the music. It's me getting to be, and I guess some people would say that maybe I'm just a failed musician, and this is what I do now. I had my time in a band and I loved it, and I still appreciate it, and this is what I do. It's fun. This is more fun and entertaining for me to do a show like this than it was to do the Metal Moose show. And it also gives me a chance to talk about things that I know and love. So anyway, yeah, man, you can always, the website's the same, www.themetalmoose.com. And you can still find it on iTunes and on Stitcher and Spreaker and all that, YouTube, all that stuff. None of that's changed. It's just a different kind of a show. This is a show where we talk about the band, so I can let you know whether it's worth your time. Because to be honest with you, sometimes bands just aren't worth your time. I told my kids at a really early age, not every song is a good song, and that is the truth. And there are some bad songs and bad musicians. Hopefully this next band is not one of them. It's a band called Cold Summer. We're going to check them out here on the Soundcheck. I hope you guys are enjoying the show. I want to encourage you once again, if you want to text a comment, just text 424-666-7356. We'd love to hear from you. The line is open 24/7. Don't worry, we're not tracking your numbers. It's just a business line. This is the Moose's Soundcheck with Cold Summer coming up right now to rock your lame ass.
There's a question burning don't see it in you. I choose what I read, I choose what to believe. I don't see it in you. I choose what I read, I choose what to believe. I don't see it in you. I choose what I read, I choose what to believe. I don't see it. No! I can't say, I can't see it, and no! I can't say, I can't see it, and no! I can't say, I don't!
The moose is loose.
All right, so cold summer there. So this is one of those things that I'm totally in the minority on this, because if you go back, quite a few years, the term crossover was used for the mixture of like hardcore and metal. But to me, it changed when bands like Linkin Park came out, or Papa Roach, maybe. Maybe not Papa Roach. Linkin Park is a better example. Or everybody's favorite, Crazy Town. It's that pop sensibility with commercial metal licks that are included. And to me, that's what that was. Cold Summer sounded to me like a band that's played on, maybe an adult contemporary station, but it will also be played on your local rock and roll station. So it crosses over boundaries, because I can see a younger kid digging that, and I can see a commercial metal fan liking that. I'm not sure that anybody who's into Pig Destroyer is really going to have much affinity for Cold Summer. But I can see kids who are into Linkin Park and, Disturbed and that kind of stuff, really digging that. Good commercial rock tune. I like it. And I want to encourage bands that are like that, send your music in, because I'll tell you the truth about it. Production was good. The songwriting was okay. To me, the songwriting was a very, I don't even know how to put this. It's built for radio. It's repetitive enough that it's going to stick in people's heads when they're in the car. It's a good tune. It's not my personal kind of thing. I wouldn't wear your T-shirt, and that's not because I don't like what you're doing, because I think what you're doing is going to be hugely successful if you make the right decisions. It's just because it's not my genre of music. Would I tell people that you're a good band? Yeah. Most definitely, but so no on the T-shirt, but that's not in a bad way. You guys have got it going on. So this next band, Downfall 2012, Texas band. I've been lucky enough to have been playing these guys. I think I started playing them in maybe 2015. They've been on the show. They were on the Metal Moose show several times. And the buzz in Texas about these guys is they're one hell of a live show. I've always liked their music. I think that they're a good band. But this is their new song. I just got sent this, so apparently this is brand new. I can't remember if it was Voodoo that sent this to me. I can't remember offhand who sent it to me, but it was a bigger... like the first time I got their music, it was like directly from the band. So I think that they have a PR company or group working with them now, which is a good sign. If you got somebody who's picked you up and is pushing your stuff, that's a good deal. So we're going to check it out. Brand new from Downfall 2012 out of Texas. We'll check it out and see what we think, because I remember them being really good. I want to once again remind you guys and thank everybody that's listening around the world, and the armed services people that are listening, because I know that they do. It's cool because I get emails from them. If you'd like to email me sometime, my email is moose@themetalmoose.com. I love to hear from you. I answer all emails. Also, if you text in on the comment line, I will text you back always. I don't ever ignore people unless it's just not worth a comment. So, and then the website is www.themetalmoose.com. You can find this show on iTunes and on Stitcher and on Spreaker. It's all over the place. It's I don't know how many radio stations that carry the Metal Moose show are going to continue to carry this. It could be that some of them do, could be that some of them don't, and that's okay. The more stations that want to carry the show, they're always welcome to it. But I've decided to stop talking about that and stressing myself out about radio stations carrying the show. If they want to carry the show, they can. But this isn't about how cool I am or whatever. It's just not. So this is the Metal Moose's sound check, but we're going to get rid of the Metal Moose thing. It's the Moose's sound check. I'm Moose. I listen to bands. I'll tell you what I think. You listen. We have a discussion about it. I pick a band out of all the bands that I play. I'm usually going to play 10 to 15 bands. That's my goal. 10 or 15 every time I do this. And I don't know how often I'll do this, at least once a week, but maybe 2 or 3 times a week I'll do this. Just keep pumping out radio shows so we can get these bands some attention, which is what I really like to do. And I'm encouraging all of you. I'm going to list all the bands so you can go check them out after the show, because that's important if you check out the bands. It's the Soundcheck Downfall 2012. Downfall 2012 on the Soundcheck Show. Moose with you here from the Moose Pit Studios in Oklahoma City. So, very few complaints. Really good song. I like the industrial thing a lot. A couple minor complaints. Like if I were to produce that song, I think the keyboards are a little heavy in the mix at times. I really like the Never Give Up little break in there. I like the it's good. It's kind of way out of left field. Yeah, I think that the keyboards are a little heavy at times, and I also think that there are certain points of the song where it's a little busy. I think that the vocals are a little bit overbearing. Not necessarily. There's just too much going on. And it's just in little increments, so it's not a horrible deal. I would wear their shirt. I like what they got. It's I would give the song literally an A. I just think that maybe some production differences, maybe a little tiny bit of rearranging. But yeah, man, who doesn't like that? I mean, I think if you once again, we'll go back to the bar situation. If I was at a bar and I saw that, I'd be like, oh my God, those guys are killing it. So, good. Downfall 2012, definitely awesome, man. And like I said, I think they got a PR company behind them now and stuff like that. So I see good things for those guys. And, that's it. It's another thing I like about it is, of course, it's been done before, but they have their own soul and their own, flavor to it. One of the things that impresses me about a band is when I feel like they are into what they're doing, and I feel like those guys are definitely that's real. It's not fabricated. So anyway, great job, man. Dig it. Coming up next, we got a band called Echoes in the Void, I think is the name of the band. Forgive me let me hold on. Yes, that's correct. Echoes in the Void. So I can, just by looking at the waveform, it looks, I don't know, it almost looks like it's going to be a spoken word kind of a thing, or just maybe some kind of weird random noise. Or it could be like real tingy black metal as well. I'm not sure. So I don't know what's going to happen in the next couple minutes, just to be honest with you, because the waveform in the software looks like it doesn't look like a song at all. But we're going to find out, and hopefully it doesn't. Well, let me see. It's 19 to 20. It's just like 2 minutes long. So if it is a song, maybe it's a hyper fast grind song, and that would be cool because I'm into that. But could be interesting. Which is the name in itself is kind of a paradox, because if you're in a void, there's nothing to echo off of. Which I don't know. Maybe they were smart enough to figure that out, but I don't know if your average music fan is going to take the time to go, oh, I wonder what their name means. Anyway, so yeah, Echoes in the Void with this strange sound file. We're going to find out. And so, listen, I've been doing a lot of promoting about the show. I know a lot of you are old Metal Moose listeners, and thanks for sticking around with me for this new thing, because hopefully you like this better. I know that I do. It's more what I like, but nothing has changed, man. The show's still on all the same places, and I don't know about the radio stations. We'll see how many stations still carry the show. I hope that they do. If they don't, that's okay too. But I'm going to have fun with it anyway, regardless of who carries it or who listens to it. And then we'll get into another reason why I changed the format after the Echoes in the Void, which that's right there with Quiet Riot. It's, that's doesn't really. There's so many great, Calculating Infinity, Deafening Silence followed by it's one of those kind of deals. Right now, my mind is so wrapped up in figuring out what the hell this is going to sound like because it looks so weird that I've kind of lost track of what I'm doing. My name is the Moose. This is the Soundcheck. We listen to it. We tell you whether it's worth a crap or not. That's kind of what we do. Give us a call or a text. Text preferably. Call whatever. 424-666-7356. Text in a comment. We'd love to hear from you. Right now, Echoes in the Void on the Soundcheck. I'm a little bit concerned. Truly.
Moose Rocks Canada.
Right now, you are at your house, you're in your car, you're at your friend. I don't know, you may be in a closet naked, I don't know, but you're listening to the Soundcheck. My name is Moose, coming to you from the Moose Pit Studios in Oklahoma City. This is a show where we listen to music you've probably never heard of before, and we're telling you, whether it's good or not, and you're listening to it, and so you have your opinion, I have mine. I just happen to get to be the radio host, and I get to say whether I like it or not, so... maybe you could start a podcast or a radio show yourself, and you could do the same thing. Maybe you'll be more successful than me. You never know. So, anyway, with that being said, that was Echoes in the Void, and so I think that there are some simple rules in music, and one of them is if you're going to be an instrumental band, that you better damn well be extremely good. Because beyond the normal music 101 fact that people enjoy talent, when you look at the pool of music bands out there, Machine and the Mountain, Pelican, the Ocean, this could go on for days and days. You've got to do something to keep people's attention, and you need to be able to do something that is, at least quasi impressive. I won't get into the production too much because a lot of bands don't have a lot of money to spend on production. I get that. The production on that track was horrifying. Like I've heard Dark Throne records with better production, and that's saying something. It honestly kind of like what was going through my head when I listened to that was I felt like I was standing outside of a garage listening to some young kids trying to form a rock band. It didn't work for me at all. I mean, you just got to be a badass if you want to be an instrumental band. Now listen, that's just one song off of the record. Maybe the rest of the songs have vocals or whatever, but that to me was just I could absolutely care less if I ever heard that again. And I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just telling you that I don't know where you're planning on going. I don't know if you're kids and you're just starting or whatever, but my advice would be to tighten up, try to save some money, get better production, and try to make something impressive out of what you're doing. Because I mean, that literally, I feel like that was a bunch of kids trying to impress, teenage girls. It didn't work for me at all. So Echoes in the Void. Sorry guys, I'm probably not going to wear your shirt. Watch, they're going to be the next Beatles, and this will be on, some special on TV. This idiot guy saying he didn't. But anyway, yeah. So that's the deal on that. That's a big no, capital N-O, for Echoes in the Void for me. But I appreciate you guys for putting music out and doing what you can. Coming up next is a band called Falkenstein or Falkenstein, wherever you're from. You're probably going to pronounce it different, but I'm going to call it Falkenstein because I like Frankenstein, and that's how I want to pronounce it. I'm guessing black metal. It's just got a black metal sound to it. It's got the whole German kind of thing going on, so could be about World War II. And I don't know, but Falkenstein, we're going to listen to it. We're going to see what we think. We're going to play it, and hopefully wherever you're at and you're listening to the show, you're having a good time. I know it's not as much comedy as the Moose, but it really kind of got tiring trying to be entertaining. It was boring. I'd rather be entertaining in a musical sense than talking about wrapping bacon around your pecker. Because that it does happen on occasion. And, those are important life lessons. But right now we're going to talk about metal. On the Soundcheck, it's Falkenstein or Stein. I mean, maybe they're related to Jill Stein. I'm sorry, ma'am, you wasted a lot of money. But here they are on the Soundcheck.
The Moose Rocks Texas.
All right, it's the argument over Stein or Steen, Falkenstein, whatever you're called. So listen, here's the deal. I had another instrumental band earlier, and they were quite awful. So right now, no matter what, if anybody has listened to this much of the show and they heard the other band, you guys sound like the greatest instrumental band ever. But okay, just going off of intuition here, I think that was probably a home recording. I think it was a drum machine. And I'm a lot of this is just guessing. This is just ear. It sounded like there was some sort of a reverse effect in there. I wasn't a fan of that. I like the idea. It just didn't come out right. And it's muddy. I don't know if you're going through an interface into your computer or if you're miking. I'm not sure, but the tone was really muddy. The bass line, there's a part in there where you just have a real long attack. The bass is a little too poppy. Poppy is not. There was too much pop in the mix for the bass. A lot of this is just, and I could be totally wrong. This could be a band in a studio and all that stuff, but I don't think so. The shirt thing is tough for me to say. I think if it had proper production, it would be good. It also a little bit reminded me of, and maybe this is a good thing because hell, that maybe this is where you're going to make your mark or make your money, but it kind of reminded me of commercial music. Like I could see, people driving, in dune buggies through mud. It was one of those kind of like promotional music kind of sounding deals. It has a lot of potential. The production, terrifying. And listen, I've done a lot of home recording, and I know it is a huge, huge pain in the ass. And sometimes you're just like, screw it, it's good enough. But so Falkenstein, Steen, whatever. Keep trying, man. Try some different miking techniques. I don't know, maybe possibly find a live drummer. Just keep messing with the mix and the production, man, because I really do. And I'm not saying this in a bad way at all. I think that in the production world, like I said, for commercials or stuff like that, even like my little bumpers that I have for my show, I think that it is excellent for that. Is it something I think that people are going to buy to listen to instrumental hard rock? Probably not. So anyway, it's good. Like I said, it's a production mess. And I know that's, not necessarily your fault. And I'm sure if you're doing it at home, like anybody who does a home recording, you want it to be better. I think if you got the right production, you could have some success, like I said, in the commercial world. But I don't see that being something people pick up to buy. On to the next one. This is one of those bands that I get when I saw the name. I was like, oh, okay. And then I read the little description. I haven't listened to the music yet, but apparently this is a rap rock kind of thing, which there are two things about the rap rock thing that I don't like. Number one, it's usually political, which I don't really care too much about political messages in music. And number two, it's either heavily lopsided on one or the other. Like it's like overly metal or it's overly rap. So it's like really hard to get the right. Like Rage Against the Machine nailed it. They had it perfect. But if you look at a band like Stuck Mojo, it was too heavy to be rap to me. Some people get it and some people don't. So First Degree Murga with We Are Slaves. This we'll see, man, because some people can do it really well. I can't remember somebody sent in a song a year or something ago, rap metal thing, and it was really, really good. So some people can do it, some people can't. We'll see what happens with this. This is the Soundcheck. My name is the Moose. We got First Degree Murger. We Are Slaves right here on the Soundcheck. So Listen, I'm expecting some text, 424-666-7356. I'd love to hear from you. Know where you're listening from and what you think about the show. This is the Moose's Soundcheck.
Get loose with the moose.
Visits on Earth couldn't exist without the moon. We don't know how it got there, our theories were impossible to prove. But it's hollow and rings like a bell as NASA experiments will tell you. Precisely the right size and place to block the sun from view. Too many eerie coincidences tells that the truth still eludes. All the countries that sent probes got bad pictures of structures too. We know the global order's corrupt, we're not all total fools. But the evil beings and rulers are not of this world. The moon is a satellite put there by the beings that rule. The moon is a satellite put there by the beings that rule. The moon is a satellite put there by the beings that rule. Because we are slaves and we live in a zoo. Language, colour, religion is used to divide us and rule. Language, colour, religion is used to divide us and rule. Language, colour, religion is used to divide us and rule. Because we are slaves and we live in a zoo. Prehistoric caves with pictures of aliens painted inside. Ancient structures and skulls we couldn't remake if we tried. The Nazca lines in Peru that could only be seen from the sky. And the ancient Indian Vedas diagrams of the ships of beings would fly. Every ancient culture tells of beings that came from the sky. Today Dr. Roger Lear pulls alien implants out of people's eyes. Millions missing every year and nobody knows why. We're not the top of the food chain, people open your minds. Kept like cattle for the benefit of the few. Kept like cattle for the benefit of the few. We're kept like cattle for the benefit of the few. Because we are slaves and we live in a zoo. Pay tax on everything that you earn, buy and do. Pay tax on everything that you earn, buy and do. Pay tax on everything that you earn, buy and do. Because we are slaves and we live in a zoo.
Okay, so first degree murder. MURGA. It's not murder. It's MURGA. MURGA. So, all right. So once again, obviously we're dealing with a home recording there. Production, not good. But, so, and I was saying before I played the song, I'm not really big on political messages in music. I mean, like, literally that turned me off from System of a Down. I love System of a Down. I think their music is fantastic, but you know, I too much bitching and posturing. So I like what you are talking about in the song. I couldn't agree. I don't know about the moon being a satellite thing, but with the colors and religions and all that separating us, I agree. The British accent threw me for a loop. I'm going to tell you that right now. So here's what I think. And, I think if you could get an actual band, and better production for the song, that you might have something that would, turn somebody's ear. The only other thing that I wanted to say is, it was more spoken word than it was, per se rap. And that is very, very difficult to do, man. I mean, there's some bands out there that do it, like Aim for Alaska being a good example. I think you need to either pick spoken word, or pick rap and do one or the other. And I don't, know how good of a rapper you are. I personally couldn't rap a Christmas present. So I'm going to go with no on the shirt, and like I said, it's interesting. The song was decent. The production was horrid. I like the message. I like what you got going. I appreciate that 100%. But once again, we're dealing with. I don't know how you're. If you're running your sound into an interface into Adobe Audition or Pro Tools or whatever, it just. The sound it made it difficult. But I was going to say this though. I'm listening to it and I'm thinking to myself, like, I would enjoy reading this. You know what I mean? Like if it were, in a book, it was interesting in that sort of fashion. Beyond that, just not personally for me. So, but thanks for sending it in. I appreciate it. And maybe you just made some new fans, maybe not. Coming up next, we got a band called Killing Addiction. So I remember when I got this in the email, I thought, Killing Addiction. I think that's like a bigger kind of band, and they may be. I don't. Normally, we deal with unsigned and independent artists. That's how we do this. But pretty much, I'm going to play whatever somebody sends in. So when I deal with a lot of promotional companies, Killing Addiction, and then I thought to myself, wait a minute, I'm thinking of Killing Joke. So I don't know if this is a big band or not, but I love their album cover. It's beautiful, black and white picture. It's nice. So and I know that's horrible of me, but album covers actually kind of do mean something to me. I'm more apt to listen to a CD or a piece of music that people took the time to make it pleasant looking, as opposed. There's God, man. I'm sure there are books out there of horrifying record covers. So anyway, so we're going to listen to Killing Addiction. My name is The Moose, coming to you from Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. This is the Soundcheck. This is the new thing where you send in your music and I listen to it and I say what I think about it, and I tell you if I like it. I want one of your shirts. And I really mean that. I do want one. Just get a hold of me, 424-666-7356, or email moose@themetalmoose.com. I'll tell you how to shoot a shirt out here, and we'll get a picture, and we'll put it up on the interwebs, and people can look at it and say, hey, God, he's fat. But then they'll go, but he's wearing a freaking Killing Addiction shirt, so I want to know about that. Coming up right now on the Soundcheck, it's me and you and Killing Addiction rocking it out.
The Moose Rocks Texas.
Moose.
So what is the sound check? So Killing Addiction there. So I'm going to tell you right off, and I would wear a Killing Addiction shirt, and here's why. So was it that impressive to me? No, not really. I mean, it was a good tune. But here's the deal. If you're into that old school Catatonia, Rapture, kind of Fields of the Niflheim, minor key doom, I mean, the Blackheim melodies, kind of Daylight Dies thing. I love that kind of music. So I love it. It's a very standard kind of song. It didn't like overly impress me. Like, oh my God, these are the greatest guys I've ever heard. Kind of October Tide-ish kind of stuff. Anyway, I would wear the shirt because I like that kind of stuff. Do I know that they're going to wow, the doom base of metal fans out there? I can't tell you. So anyway, yeah, Killing Addiction. Please send me a shirt. So here's the deal. I want to start doing this. I initially I thought I was going to do like a mystery song every week to see if people would try to figure out who it was. And then I thought, you know what? People just don't take enough action. They're too busy to send an email. People usually only send emails when they get something to bitch about. So I'm not going to do that. But here's what I am going to do. I am going to not give my opinion on the last band. I know what they sound like. And I know if I would wear their shirt or not because I've played them before on the Metal Moose Show. But what I'm going to do is I want, and I promise you that the band wants to know what you, the listener, thinks about them. So the last song of every Soundcheck show, I'm going to let the fans of the band, the people listening to the show, give their opinion. And then on next week's show, I'm going to tell everybody what the name of not the name, I'm going to give you the name. But I want to know what you think about the song, because your opinion means just as much as mine. Actually, probably more than mine, because you're going to be able to buy the CDs and buy the shirts and go to the shows and all that stuff. And I promise you the bands are more concerned about your opinion than my opinion. So the last band is called MURGER, and they sent us a song. They said, hey, we want to be on the Soundcheck. And I said, done deal. So listen, man, I was sitting down last night in the studio, and I've got 6 weeks of shows ready to do. But like I said, I may do one a week. I may do 3 a week. That was 3. I know that I'm losing my voice, as I always do when I talk for 2 hours doing this. I lose my voice. So I've got a lot of great bands, a lot of excellent music. A lot of people are excited about this, the opportunity, because people, for the longest time, that was the biggest complaint on the Metal Moose Show. You never talk about the bands. Okay, well, that's all I'm doing now, is talking about the bands. So people are really excited about this, and the people responding to what's going on has been really exciting and encouraging, because I was pretty down about the Metal Moose Show. But I just decided I need to do what makes me happy and not worry about that anymore. So that's what I'm doing. I'm doing this Soundcheck thing, and I love it. We got some new branding. We got a new logo. We got a new way of doing things, which is exciting for me. But one thing that's definitely not going to change is that I'm going to tell you every show. I was very, very disheartened by the fact that I put 3 years into giving all I could to the bands. And I mean, I gave everything that I got, and I got very, very little in return. Matter of fact, to those of you who know my situation, you know there are people out there actually who hate my guts because of the Metal Moose Show. All I wanted to do was give. All I wanted to do was help. All I wanted to do was be a good guy in the music scene, which is full of bad guys. And it was disheartening, man. It really hurt my heart. And I know there's somebody out there going, "Oh, the Moose is a pussy." No, man. I'm a person who wants to give. That's what I do. And if you want to think I'm a pussy, that's fine. Whatever. I don't care. But I'm going to continue to say this at the end of every show, and I mean it 100,000%. You wake up, you kick ass, you be kind, you repeat. That's how you live life. That's how things work here. That's how they work with me. That's never going to change. I don't care if you say bad things about me. I don't care if you like me. What I care about is sharing music with people and getting the band some attention. That's it. That's it. And I don't care if you like me or not. I hope you do. I hope you enjoy the show. I'd love to meet you someday, shake your hand. You guys are all family to me. Thank you so much for listening. Let us know, 424-666-7356, what you think about this next band, MURGER, on the Soundcheck. See you next time.
Rock out while you rack out and consider yourself moosed.